Hey friends, good morning. Ooh, it's been a minute. Saturday, June 17th, Father's Day weekend. We're here in New York City. And for those of you who are with us frequently, you'll probably recognize where we are. We are at the Ferry landing on the Upper East Side. And we should be hopping on a New York City ferry in about 10 minutes. I'm going to get my tickets ready in a little while. God love, Sebastian. Good to see everybody. Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. FDR. And this is Carl Schurz Park, home to Gracie Mansion, residence to the New York City mayor. We should be taking a different ferry today. Almost every time we ride the ferry on the East River, we take the Astoria route, which is kind of the scenic route. But that one's not coming for a while. The next one is the Soundview route, so it's a little faster, doesn't have as many stops, but we'll take that to go downtown. Well, wouldn't be live streaming if we didn't kick off with a little bit of buffering. Hopefully, won't be too bad today. Fingers crossed. JK, good to see you. So it's 10:16 in the morning, and the ferry should come at 10:25. Yeah, JK, it's good to see you. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks to everybody for being with us. Got the RFK and the Hellgate bridges in the distance, Randall's Island. And one of the last streams we did, though it's been a while, is we did walk along the waterfront north, a little bit towards Harlem. A lot of people coming. It's a beautiful day today, so I'm not super surprised. It should be a busy boat today, but hopefully we'll be able to find a spot upstairs. So normally the route we take is the Astoria, which sort of ping-pongs back and forth between Manhattan, Queens, and Brooklyn. This one stays more along, just stays sort of straight along Manhattan Island. So it's a little faster to Wall Street Pier 11, a little more of a direct route, but we should still have some pretty spectacular views. Yeah, Sebastian, it's been a minute. It's been a little bit, it's just been exhausting. So the kiddo, he's doing well, he's very healthy and everything, but he's taken to waking up in the middle of the night for several hours on end. And mom and dad are working on that. He doesn't want to miss anything, day or night. A couple times this week he was up from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. So it's a work in progress. ABX, good to see you. Mika, AC, welcome everybody. Thank you for hopping on. I know it's been a long time, but we should have a fun ride today.
Are you waiting in line?
For the boat.
Okay, but not the ticket.
Diana Lee, good to see you. If I missed anybody, welcome. Don't forget to say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. Should be about 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes and we'll pick up the Soundview ferry. Heading downtown to Wall Street. Got my ticket all ready to go. So this boat ride is about half an hour for the route we want to take. The ticket is good for 2 hours. So what that means is you can take this down to Wall Street and you could wait for a different boat, different route. You could head, for example, to the Rockaways. The other thing you could probably do, you probably have the time, you could walk across town, go over to the west side and take the Hudson River ferry up to Midtown or down to Staten Island. So lots of opportunities. $4 a ticket, best deal in New York City. Josephine's checking in from Maryland. Robojacks, good to see you, all the way from London. Sally Scipio, welcome everybody. Dave in Bangor, Maine, coming to us from Bangor, Maine. Naboul, all the way from France. Trying to see if I can see where our ferry's coming from. Don't see it just yet. It does come from the north, from the Soundview ferry stop, which is a beautiful little area. But today we'll be taking it south to Wall Street. A lot of people hanging out with us and starting to be a decent line behind us. But as the day marches on, it'll get much busier. So I thought, since we're getting an early start, we'll do the ferry. It's going to get much busier as the day goes along. Going up to 80 degrees, so a real New York City summer day. Yeah, you guys hear all the chatty birds? I think they're hanging out on top of the pier structure. Chatty, chatty, chatty. Ooh, there's a seaplane up there. Dana Lee's come to us all the way from South Hampshire in the UK. Grateful for all of our friends coming to us all around the world. JK says $4 a wonderful deal, yeah. And you can also get a 10-ticket pass for $27.50. So it brings the price used to be $275. So as long as you buy 10 passes at a time, you can still get that $275 price. But you do have to use it, I think, within 3 months. But it's an amazing deal at either price and one of my favorite ways of seeing the city. So hopefully today you guys will see some pretty amazing sights of Manhattan. And it'll take us downtown where we can do a little walking. Busy day here. It's been a while since we've rode the ferry. And now that it's summer, it's starting to get real busy again. So according to the schedule, it should be another minute or two. According to the live tracker, it looks like 5 more minutes. Oh, I see the boat. It's making its way. KS Fields, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for hanging on out with us. Boat is starting to make its way down as we and once it came into view, the sign switched from 5 minutes to arriving. Yeah, Diana Lee, the worldwide bagel family. Wishing everybody in advance a happy Father's Day tomorrow. S. Field says, thanks for taking us on an adventure. It is always my pleasure. I know it's been a minute. Mom and Dad are quite sleep deprived, so it's just been a little more difficult than normal to get out. It kind of, a few months of sleep deprivation kind of added up, but trying to get out, back out a little bit more and trying to find some creative ways to keep posting videos. So we did a recorded stroller cam the other day, and last weekend I did get a chance to go out, have a little peaceful time out, so we went to the Brooklyn Botanic Garden, took a video of my walk around the Brooklyn Botanic Garden. So if you haven't had a chance to see that, please do. It's rose season, peak rose season. And after all of the crazy polluted air from the Canadian wildfires, getting to the Brooklyn Botanic Garden for some fresh air, for the smell of the herbs, oh, that was amazing. Had a beautiful time at the Brooklyn Botanic Garden, so please do check out those videos when you have a chance. Here's our boat coming in. Soundview going to Wall Street, Pier 11. Name of the boat, Connector. S. Field says, my first Father's Day. That's right, that's right. Got our ticket ready. Oh, only 2 people coming off, so they let us right on. Oh. Diana says, great to see a clear sky, 100%. It was so crazy.
It's orange line.
Huh?
It's orange line.
No.
Thank you. All right, my friends, we're on. Let's head upstairs. And let's go see if we can get a little space. Here's the snack bar, great place to get a beer. Actually, pretty decent prices. Gregory Kelly, good to see you. So since we're going south, we're going to stay for the most part on this side. We will get some views of Roosevelt Island, Brooklyn, etc. But since we're taking the shorter route today, we'll mostly stay on this side of the boat and get the Manhattan skyline. There's going to be wind. There will probably be buffering, so just bear with us. But for those of you who've joined us many times before, it's always worth the views. So thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out. It looks like we're making pretty good time. Everybody's getting on. Just a few more people. Yes, field. Canadians are so generous, they shared their smoke. It was unbelievable. So there was actually the morning of, I may have my days a little bit wrong, but I think it was like Friday. Was it Friday and Saturday or Thursday, Friday? I forget which 2 days it was particularly bad. But that first day I had to take kiddo for some appointments. And thankfully, the morning it was okay. There was wind, and so the sky was clear, the air was reasonably clear, so I was able to do that. If his appointments had been that afternoon when the sky turned orange, we wouldn't have left the apartment. And it was really bad. We were told to turn the air conditioning off, just use fans. We have air purifiers, and even with all that stuff, the apartment smelled so much like smoke. It was really, really, really bad. So hopefully everybody made it through okay without too much damage. And hopefully it won't happen again anytime soon. Away we go. So again, this is East 90 ferry stop on the Upper East Side. Roosevelt Island right there. We're on the Soundview route today, so we will not be going to Astoria. This is Carl Schurz Park. Our good friend Manny Explorers has been coming to Carl Schurz Park a decent amount lately, and you can see how green and lush it is. It's so beautiful. So this is the East 70s in Manhattan. Ooh. Serious wind. You can see the towers of Billionaires Row, 57, 58th Street, Queensboro Bridge, including the Roosevelt Island tram going across. One reason I really wanted to do the ferry on the East River today is the new walkway is really coming together. I don't have an official opening date yet, but it looks like it's going to be real soon. I really hope it is. So I was hoping we'd get an up-close view. The new walkway. Before now, you have to walk into First Avenue or Sutton Place, but now you'll be able to take this new path, and it looks really nice. up to 42nd Street, Tudor City in the United Nations. And I don't know if you caught that, but there was a little view of the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building. Vanderbilt. There's the Chrysler Building. And it's hard to see the building, but that's the top of the Empire State Building. Then you have the American Copper buildings over here. Well, let's get a good view of the UN. There's the Empire. The red brick buildings in front from Tudor City. That marks 42nd Street right there. So we'll be coming up here to 34th Street for our first stop. Ooh, thanks for bearing with the wind. So today the wind is 10 miles an hour, 20 mile per hour gusts, but then you add on the speed of the boat. But it feels great. I have to tell you, the temperature right now is perfect. It's like 70 flat. Hey, Elaine's checking in. Happy first Father's Day, Sean, tomorrow. Yay, thank you, thank you, thank you. We're excited. We are excited. The very unique American Copper Building. Oh, and there's the Empire State Building peeking through. We should get another view of it in a second. Ooh, are we, I guess, do we not stop here? Oh, I forget. It's been a long time since I've been on the Soundview route, as you can tell. There's the Empire State Building peeking through. How perfect is that? I'll take some screenshots of that later. Should get, there it is, another nice view of the Empire. And then in a little bit we'll start to get really nice views of One World Trade Center. Oh, I see, we're just going to the southern dock. There is the Chrysler Building. There is 432 Park Avenue. One Vanderbilt. Sabine is visiting in July. So much to see and do, don't know where to start. Amazing city. Yeah, I mean, it's always tricky. You got to think about what you want to do. For us, you know, since we do a lot of walking, you know, my recommendations would be things like you got to walk across the Brooklyn Bridge, you want to do the High Line, you want to go to Central Park, but maybe even pick a neighborhood where you don't really have much of a plan and you just allow yourself to walk around and get lost a little bit. And you know, probably what I would recommend is the West Village. It's kind of a maze anyways. So just allow yourself to get lost, find a nice little cafe, take some pictures of the beautiful buildings. There's the Pepsi Cola sign. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Let's go all the way in. Long Island City over there. If you've never been, a visit to Long Island City, especially on a summer evening, is perfect. You get all these food trucks come out. There's these amazing views of the city. It's really fun over there. Still, Roger Still, good to see you. Really great, thank you. Hey, it's my pleasure. Thanks for being with us. Recognize you, of course, from our good friend Dutch Maz. Everybody follow Dutch Maz. True New York City character, and he'll be covering the Mermaid Parade. Ron TV says you want to get a free CD in Times Square. Ooh, that is bad advice. He kids. If anybody hands you something in New York City, don't let them. Nabul says get lost in Central Park. See, that's also good advice. And to get unlost, you just follow the bikes. Bear in the Garden, good to see you. Ooh, it's actually hot right now. We got the sun bearing down on us. So depending on how much time you have, I would take the Roosevelt Island tram into Roosevelt Island, do some research in advance, and check if Four Freedoms Park is going to be open, named after Franklin Delano Roosevelt's Four Freedoms. It's a beautiful park, but if you're going to go to Roosevelt Island, I definitely recommend doing it on a day where the park is open. So we're just picking up a few folks here at 34th Street. I think everybody's on. And so we're closing up the boat now. My guess is we might be stopping at Stuyvesant Cove. And I forget if there's one more stop or if that's the last stop to Wall Street. For anybody who follows our good friend Gabe, the walking commuter, you might recognize Waterside Towers, where he finishes some of his walks. All right, there was the tone. We're away. Got some helicopters up above us. I wonder what's going on over there. And it's a little hard to see, but you can see Spot, the dog statue in front of the Children's Hospital just over there. All right, away we go. I'm going to keep the camera pointed south so we can hopefully get a nice view of One World Trade Center in a moment. There it is. Just up ahead of us, Peter Cooper Village and Stuyvesant Town. And here's another stretch of the East River Waterfront Greenway. Because they're doing construction at the East River Park a little farther downtown, there's a big detour. But you can take this for a bit. You have to go around the East River Park and then you can get back on as you head into downtown, Lower Manhattan. you can see some of the floodgate construction that they've been doing. So all of the work that they're doing along the waterfront is to help make the city more resilient to hurricanes and big floods. So this is Stuyvesant Cove, our next stop. By the way, right here, 14th Street, south of which is Alphabet City. Yeah, Ron, I saw on Friday he's changing his commute around. That's like big news in the walking world. The walking commuter changing his commute. Oh, he said next stop, last stop. So next stop is where we are headed, Wall Street, Pier 11. That'll take us to Lower Manhattan, where we'll get off and do some walking. It looks like you guys have found the XGPT command. If you want to play around with ChatGPT, this is how you do it here. Let's see what we got. So Luke asked where Father's Day comes from. Established in the United States in 1910 by Sonora Smart Dodd to honor her father, is now celebrated worldwide on varying dates. And I think I saw another one earlier. Ron TV asking about must-do things in New York City. ChatGPT tells us visit Central Park, stroll through Times Square, experience the Statue of Liberty, check out the Empire State Building, explore the Met Museum. That's a pretty good list. I mean, it depends on you if you want to do things like Times Square. It's not for everybody. It is for some people. The Statue of Liberty is an incredible experience, but oh, are they letting him on? Uh-oh. We got some runners. This is like when a cruise ship, somebody running to make the cruise ship. Ron TV says Gabe's getting a new paper route. Uh-oh. I don't know if she's going to make it. That looks a little optimistic. That looks a little optimistic. Are we letting folks on? Oh. Oh, Diana Lee, thank you so much. We're excited to celebrate. Oh. I guess I was mistaken. She's running. She is running. Must not do in New York City. Avoid littering, jaywalking, using excessive noise or profanity, vandalizing public property, carrying illegal substances, and disrespecting others. Well, that's a pretty good list. All right. He will not make it. Everybody else made it. Hey, Prince Ice, good to see you. Coming to us all the way from South Korea. I don't know, was he trying to get on the boat, or is he, I think he's just running. They were trying to get the boat. They're not going to make it. All right, away we go. This was Stuyvesant Cove. This is Stuyvesant Town. Alphabet City right there. And up next, we're headed all the way to Wall Street, Pier 11. That is our last stop on the boat. We'll get off, do some walking. I'm trying to think, Ron, that was a good question. What I would tell people not to do if they came. And like, the one I'm struggling with a little bit is the Statue of Liberty. So if I were coming, I would definitely take the Staten Island Ferry, or I would take the New York City Ferry and get a view of the Statue of Liberty. But if you're gonna go to the Statue of Liberty, you've got to really want to do that, because that's an all-day affair. You want to go to the museum, you want to walk around, So you want to think about how best to use your time. And stuff that's going to take all day long, that's the stuff I would think a lot about. Not saying you shouldn't do it, just make sure it's what you want to be doing. Williamsburg Bridge. And when I say the Statue of Liberty, I'm like including Ellis Island in that. And they have all these computers where you can do genealogy research on your family. Like, all of this is really fun. It's just, you could spend a whole day there. And I think they've reopened more of it so that you can climb up a lot of it now. One World Trade Center in the distance. So we're going to be going around the island a little bit. 14th Street, that we just passed, the widest portion of Manhattan Island. Gregory asked, have we ever walked across the Williamsburg Bridge? We have multiple times. And we actually have an East River, we did an East River series, I think last summer, where I did a bunch of videos of different parts of the East River. And one of them was a Three Bridges walk where I did the Williamsburg, Manhattan, and Brooklyn Bridge in one continuous walk. Bear in the Garden says, which ferry route is my favorite? Easily the Rockaways. So from Pier 11, you can take one boat all the way to the Rockaways, and it's the most spectacular. It's just such a good time. I would do it on a warm day, and I would time your visit so that your return to Wall Street gets you in at sunset. Buy a couple beers from the snack bar on the boat, and you'll have the most amazing time. Williamsburg Bridge takes you into Lower East Side. Up next, the Manhattan Bridge. If you ever want to remember them, BMW. Brooklyn, Manhattan, Williamsburg, BMW. Madeline wondering, could we go shopping? Well, we'll probably see some shops when we get downtown. Maybe we might go by the South Street Seaport. We haven't done that in a while. And I'm going to start zooming in, but there's the Statue of Liberty. So this is the East River Park. I was saying they're doing a lot of construction. So all over the waterfront, they are raising parts of the island and building barriers to prevent flooding. So that's why all the construction's going on over there. But coming up, the Manhattan Bridge, then the Brooklyn Bridge, and in just a few minutes we'll be at Wall Street Pier 11, which is our final stop. Prince Ice says BMW paid to make that. This is where Pier 36, this is where they did that immersive Van Gogh exhibit. That was really fun. I have to see what's going on there these days. Madeline asks, is my wife with me? No, she's at home with the kiddo today. We are planning to do some walks again where she'll join us, and we'll bring the kiddo along. So stay tuned for that one of these days. Neville checking in from Toronto. Good to see you, pal. We're on TV asking, how's the kiddo? He's doing great, but he's really struggling with sleep these days. He likes to get up for a few hours in the middle of the night, which is just exhausting. So we're working on fixing that. And that's why we haven't been doing too many live streams lately. By the way, this was Pier 36. There's a great little seating area right over here. I'll try to show you guys as we turn. You see the swings. Up next, the Brooklyn Bridge. Donna, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for the Father's Day wishes. Pretty terrific view of One World Trade. This is Pier 17. We'll probably come by here in a minute. This is the South Street Seaport. Lots of restaurants, lots of things to do. They do concerts on the roof. And there's a couple ships over here, including the Ambrose and the Wavertree, that do tours. I think they just reopened the tours. Pier 15 also has some restaurants. And then this is where we're headed right now. This is Pier 11, so this is where we're going to get off. Last stop, last stop. We're on TV. Confusing ChatGPT. Try distance instead of size. Or length. Let's try length. So if anybody's really enjoying the Lower Manhattan skyline, I have a couple of short videos. If you look up Tribute in Light, so one of the most amazing sights in New York City, on September 11th, they recreate the Twin Towers in light. And I have a couple videos from the ferry of the tribute in light at night, the skyline downtown. It's really beautiful. So if you've never seen my tribute in light videos, just go into my YouTube page and in the search bar type in tribute. They should come right up. But here we are, we're coming in and we'll be getting off here.
This is the last up here, level Wall Street. Thanks for riding NYC Ferry. Have a great day. Please make sure to take all your personal belongings with you. If you need to use the restroom, now is not the time. There are better and bigger bathrooms on the pier. Thanks again for riding NYC Ferry. Have a great day.
They never made it.
Hey Patricia, good to see you. Welcome. Good to see everybody. Away we go. Hey Clinton, I know it's been a minute. Thanks for hopping on. For anybody just joining, the reason we haven't been doing too many live streams, we've just been totally sleep deprived. Our kiddo has decided he loves to be awake from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. So mom and dad are working on that. That's our current project. But it hasn't left too many brain cells available for doing much during the daytime these days. So we're working on it. So Pier 11, just so you know, is kind of the main ferry stop here in Manhattan. You can catch a lot of different routes here. If we were to walk south, by the way, that takes us to the Battery, farthest south in Manhattan. We're going to go north a little bit. Let's go over to Pier 17. It's been a while since we've gone to the South Street Seaport. Let's go see what's going on over there. Clinton says, sounds like a bartender in training. It's so funny, he has this little bouncer thing that he sits in. Kind of practices balance, you know, jumps around, uses all his energy up. And I always say it looks, if you've ever seen pictures of, you know, like a round bar, it looks just like that. So I call him my little bartender. I don't know that his grandparents like that I call him my little bartender, but that's what he looks like. He's 8 months old, which is so crazy. The months are just flying by. So this is the East River waterfront, and as we took the ferry down, I was pointing out different parts of it. Unlike the Hudson River, it's not all connected.
It's all about the...
So unfortunately, there's detours kind of throughout it. But as long as you're willing to take those detours, you can get some pretty amazing views walking down the East River. And if you want to see a live stream of us doing that, type in detour. We did the detour tour. I forget what it was. It was like 4 different times you have to hop off the Greenway. 4 or 5. John W., good to see you. His name is Caleb. Caleb's hanging out at home with Lisa. Hopefully, he should at some point be taking a nap, but he's just finding sleep a little difficult these days. They say it's normal as they learn new skills and things. And he had like a big leap recently. He started crawling. He remembers things way more. So for example, if he sees me playing on my phone, he wants that phone. And if I move the phone, if I hide it, he sees where I put it and like tries to crawl to it. So he, like all of a sudden, all of these connections in his brain clearly got made all at once. And I mean, nobody knows exactly, but does he want to be practicing it? Is he trying to do things? Who knows? But the result is sleep is not high on his list of things he wants to be doing. If anybody wants, you can ask XGPT the meaning of names. Patricia says, yeah, he doesn't want to miss a beat. Exactly. I mean, I think that's the biggest part of it, right? He doesn't want to miss anything. He's got all these new fancy new skills he wants to try out, wants to be doing stuff with them. So here is the South Street Seaport. There's a museum over to the left. And then I was saying before, there's these two boats, right? So there's the Waver Tree and the Ambrose. And I think they recently reopened doing tours on them. Waver Tree from 1885, cargo ship. Ooh, and check this out. Look at this sign. So this again is why they're doing all the resilience construction. High water mark, October 29, 2012, during Hurricane Sandy. The water came up to here. It's crazy. Donna says he wants to watch videos and order DoorDash. See, just like his father. There's the new Tin Building by Jean-Georges. So it's full, it's kind of like a fancy food hall. All sorts of different food available there. What I would probably recommend though is, it might be the next block, but on that side, if you walk along the street right there, which is South Street. If you walk, I think it's like one block north on South Street, there's a location of Difara. D-I-F-A-R-A, which is some of the best pizza in New York City. The best is at the original location in Brooklyn, but there you could have to wait a few hours to get your pizza. You do not have to wait a few hours here. This is the Ambrose I was mentioning, 1908 lightship. And if you want to visit, you can hop on. So I have not eaten at the Tin Building yet. We just haven't been downtown very often since it's been open, but I've heard really good things. I know people like it a lot. Jean-Georges, one of the very famous chefs, celebrity chefs. Let's go walk into the Seaport a little bit, and I want to show you some of the views that you can get from here. You can take the escalators up. You can go all the way to the rooftop, but it looked like it was set up for concerts, so I don't really want to waste my time going up if it's going to be a problem today. Oh, it looks like they got some fancy exercise class going on.
Hands to heart center. Half move. Drop the right hand down, reach the left arm up.
All right, let's see if I can sneak by them.
Keep flexion in your left foot. For 3. For 2. Forward fold. Drop it down. Drop your head down. Relax your neck. Come on up to stand.
How funny is that?
Dancer on the right. Grab hold of your left.
So as you can see, there's all sorts of cool seating areas over here.
With your right
and often little public art like this guy. But the best part about coming here is you get this incredible view of the Brooklyn Bridge. Let's go to the corner for a second. See the view. How great is that? Look at all this. So what is this? Demo 2023 Creative Science, oyster shells from the Fulton and Fulton Fish Company. Interesting. So all sorts of, so obviously in early New York history, oysters were a big part of the economy. So I guess an art project to kind of throw back to that. Interesting. Beautiful view of the Brooklyn Bridge and the Manhattan Bridge in the background. This is Dumbo, down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass. This is the New York water taxi coming up. Hey, Steve Gonzalez, good to see you. Coming in for 4th of July. Manny Explorers, good to see you. We were just talking about you. I was pointing out we were by Carl Schurz Park, and I was saying that you've been there pretty frequently recently. Ron TV says the world is our oyster, indeed. All right, let's go walking. Always fun to see Pier 17. It's so beautiful over here. All sorts of restaurants, bars with these beautiful waterfront views. So obviously recommend it. And it really is starting to feel like a summer day today. Getting real hot all of a sudden. It is going up to 80 degrees today. When we started it was 70. So I think what we'll do, I've been wanting to go by the World Trade Center to see the outdoor art that was added recently. So I think that's where we'll head next. And then maybe we'll cross the, maybe we'll go river to river. Maybe we'll head from the East River all the way to the Hudson River. Beautiful day to walk and explore. So again, this is the Tin Building by Jean-Georges. Fancy little New York food hall here at Pier 17. People love it. And then we'll walk across the street. We'll cross South Street. See more of the Seaport. Lots of shops. Somebody was asking about shopping. Lots of shops. There's an iPic, which is one of those movie theaters where they do food. You know, they bring like meals to your seat. There's a nice bookstore. There's a museum. There's all sorts of stuff. And actually there's a monument to the Titanic up ahead. So it really is a ton to see over here. And I was mentioning DeFara Pizza. You can see the sign right there. Great slices. Ooh, perfect timing. Got our lights. It's really fun down here. A lot of much historic old buildings. So the architecture is really cool over here. Oh, we got some boxing going on. Here's the McNally Jackson's, the bookstore. Funny Face Bakery. I know Dutch Ma's got some incredible looking cookies from there. Let's go see what the cookies look like. Class of 2023. They're like super fancy. That's pretty cool. New York City, Statue of Liberty. So that's where they were coming from, that boxing gym. This is a fun spot for drinks, by the way. Let's go take a look at that Titanic monument I was mentioning. Barbie store. A lot of folks were there for that.
I think it's like.
So this little lighthouse is a monument to the Titanic. Let me see if I can show you guys the plaque. The historic marker, Titanic Memorial Lighthouse. This lighthouse is a memorial to the passengers, officers, and crew who died as heroes when the steamship Titanic sank after collision with an iceberg. April 15, 1912. The lighthouse was originally erected by public subscription, stood above the East River, and it had a time ball mechanism to signal 12 noon. And then in 1968 it came here. Really beautiful. Let's cross the street. And we've talked about it before, there's lots of different memorials and markers to the Titanic all across the city. New York City Parks website has great references about all that if you want to look that up. There's one more marker I want to walk you guys to over on Pearl Street. Let's go see that for a second. It's kind of cool. Just wait for this taxi to go by. Okay. This is kind of an interesting one. There's so much history down here. Look at this, Thomas Edison. In a building on this site, an electric plant supplying the first Edison underground central station system in this country, informing the origin of New York's present electric system, began operation 1882. Incredible. We're going to take Fulton Street. Again, this is Lower Manhattan. FiDi, the financial district.
She says that, but
Oh, by the way, at the top of that pole, that little round capsule looking thing, that's a 5G tower. So if you see those capsules, that's what those are. There's the Frank Gehry building. Hey Everton, good to see you. Good morning. If you joined and I missed you, welcome, welcome. Good to see everybody. Happy Saturday, happy Father's Day weekend. Taking a little stroll around Manhattan Island.
No, top 4 is Valley on Fulton.
You can start to see One World Trade Center coming square into view. The beautiful blue sky today. Gorgeous view. How is that for a view? My beautiful wife Lisa has just joined the chat. Hey, 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 did kiddo finally fall asleep? Let us know how you're doing. I have been explaining our absence due to sleep deprivation. Hey, ER Trauma, good to see you. Thank you for the wishes. Appreciate that. Always want to show this sign in honor of our friend Dutch Maz. Dutch Street. One of the shortest streets in Manhattan. Look at the architecture, look at the design work on this older building. I think it's from the 1800s. Gorgeous. They do not make them like they used to. Oh, he just woke up, great. We are really struggling with his sleep these days, but it is a work in progress. On your left? Look at that view. Walks in camera says Dutch deserves a longer street. I know, I agree. But it's still an honor to have a street named after you. 29 minutes, yeah. So we switched to, he's supposed to be switching to a 2-nap schedule where they're a little longer. So that's definitely a fail for today. Oh, good times. On our right, St. Paul's Chapel, the little chapel that stood, which is a reference to the relatively little damage it received on September 11. Beautiful chapel and historic cemetery. This, by the way, is Broadway. One of the last really big live streams we did was walking the entire length of Broadway, all the way from Marble Hill all the way to #1 Broadway, the southern tip of Manhattan, 14.5 miles. That was a fun one. For anybody who was with us, that was super fun. Let's walk around a little bit. Let's go check out Zuccotti Park. Maybe we'll see our friend Double Check. And then we'll go see some of the public art that's around here. A lot of good stuff. Nobody coming. Let's walk across. ER asking, do we have caffeine? More than we should these days. More than we should. So right now we're walking south along Broadway. Up ahead, Zuccotti Park. And then we'll head into the World Trade Center complex. I want to see some of the public art over there. But first we'll make a visit to Double Check. Donna says, I know he wants your phone now. He wants to change his schedule so you can hold the camera again on your walks, then mom can come along too. Hey, I think you might be onto something. So this is Double Check. Everyman businessman, survived 9/11. Okay, all good?
I want to take a picture of this. Is it okay for you?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
You got it. Everyman businessman presence in Liberty Park, who before had faded into the background amongst his human brethren, has been called the survivor. He was lifted, battered yet whole from the dust and rubble after the September 11, 2001 tragedy. The parks have since been rebuilt, and this bronze man sits near his original site bearing scratches and bruises he sustained that day as a poignant reminder of hope and endurance for all. Just a beautiful little monument. Yeah, ER, we were talking about that earlier. The big thing is he's gotten all these skills recently. So he started crawling. His memory has like vastly improved. So like if you move stuff, he remembers where you put it. And apparently there's like, when they have these big jumps in development, you sometimes see these sleep regressions. Because he wants to do all the stuff, especially the crawling. It was so funny. Like one day, he would practice crawling, and the funniest thing is, for a while, he would go backwards, which is very common, it turns out. And he would do like one leg, and you're like, just do the other leg. He wouldn't do the other leg, and then one day, he just crawls. It's the most amazing thing. This is Zuccotti Park, beautiful. Let's head into the World Trade Center area. It's very busy. It's a nice day. There's probably a lot of people, so if it buffers, just bear with us. We'll get through it together, but hopefully it won't be too bad. By the way, there's a recently reopened Century 21. Apparently much smaller than what it used to be, but obviously people are very happy to have it back. Okay, nobody coming? Wow, totally empty big bus tour bus. It's such a nice day. I guess people want to be walking around, but I'm surprised there were only 2 people on top. It's probably going to get a little hot to be on the top of a tour bus though today, I have to say. 80 degrees in the sun. Pretty warm. So here we are, light and sound. This is one of the first little pieces of public art. Look at all these. Optic, Cortlandt Way. This is here through June 21. Let me go on wide. Amazing. So if you really spin them around, they play music as well. Oh yeah, ER, it's fun. It's more than a little exhausting. Hopefully you guys can hear that music. Just amazing. Very cool. Very cool. We're going to make a right. And there should be some more for us to see. Obviously across the street, Greenwich Street, is the memorial. So the National September 11th Museum and Memorial. Obviously much closer now to One World Trade. And we'll be walking right here next to the Oculus. Oh, Lisa wants me to say hi to the kiddo. Let me find a good... Yeah, I'll do that right just up ahead. I have something we can show kiddo. This is what we came to see. This is what I wanted to show kiddo. How fun is this? Okay, I skipped a long line, so I'm not gonna cheat and take a picture there, but I'll take a picture right here. So this is all art by a couple named Gillian Mark. Hey kiddo, Daddy's downtown. We're by the One World Trade Center, and there's some cool animal art here. So I'm showing you guys so you can screenshot, but at the bottom it says, "A Wildlife for Wildlife is part of the broader Love the Last project, a social movement driven by public art to raise awareness, funds, and support for endangered animals across the world." And you can find them on Instagram. They've done all sorts of interesting art about animals, really like realistic and creative stuff, as you can see. So definitely check them out. I love this. Been wanting to see this for a while. Walks and Camera says they have some art in the City of London. Yeah, I've heard they have stuff all around the world. Very impressive, very realistic. Ooh, it is starting to get hot, folks. It is starting to warm up, seriously. How cool is this? How cool is this? I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's walk along Fulton Street some more. And I think I want to head west to the water. I think I want to go to the Hudson River next. Or should we go to TriBeCa? Maybe we should go to TriBeCa. Let's go to TriBeCa. Let's head up a little bit. Let's go see the New York Bean. It's such a beautiful day. I bet there'll be lots of people out. And there's actually one other thing I want to see, although I don't want to say it just yet. Hey, Pizza Man, good to see you. If you just joined, welcome. Happy Pride from the Oculus Beer Garden. Yes, happy Pride Month. Posted a little thing on Instagram recently about that. But New York, obviously, a city of welcoming and diversity. So wishing everybody a happy Pride Month. So we're going to walk north a little bit towards the what's known as the Jenga building in TriBeCa, and let's go see the New York Bean. Right now we're on Church Street. I love this area. The architecture down here, it's so impressive. Here's one of my favorite buildings. One of the early skyscrapers, the Woolworth building, truly one of the most beautiful buildings in New York City. And if you have $80 million lying around, there's a penthouse available. And Clinton Efford, $20. Get something cool and refreshing for you and Lisa, so nice. Sleepy Sean is back. Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. 20 times over, we appreciate it. Very, very, very kind and generous. Always happy to get a chance to walk around with you guys. Obviously, wish we all had the capacity to do it more often, but we'll as often as we can. And if you missed it, I did post a couple things recently, including a tour of the Brooklyn Botanic Garden for peak rose season.
Like if you're a scientist.
Their rose garden is one of the best in the world, and everything was blooming. It was so great. It smelled incredible. It smelled so good. So check that out. And we're doing some more stroller cam every now and then, including some recorded ones. Sometimes it's very hard to stream in Central Park, so we'll do some recording ones as well, so at least we get some video content up. Donna says one of my favorite buildings. Yeah, the Woolworth, I mean, it's so incredible from every angle, and the history of it's really fascinating if you guys want to look that up. Hey, Leela's here. ER says, my first Pride Parade was New York City in the rain. Amazing. Oh, I bet that was incredible. You definitely do not let a little rain get in the way of a celebration. Good to see you, Leela.
And the fact that
So for anybody who just joined, we've had a little bit of we've been all over already. We took the ferry down from the Upper East Side. So we've took the ferry down, saw Wall Street, South Street, Seaport, made our way to the West Side. Now we're in TriBeCa, Triangle Beneath Canal, with its very recognizable architecture, especially the fire escapes. Kind of ornate decorations on the buildings and lots of cast iron. Here's the Kerry building. And that's the municipal building. The David Dinkins Memorial Municipal Building.
Yeah, he goes, Mike.
Oh, I could smell that pizza. It smells so good. That smells so good. Ooh. Got the sign right here for the bike lane. Up ahead, Washington Square Park, to the left, Hudson River Greenway. Washington Square Park's a little bit of a bike though from here. At least, what, like a mile and a half? Leela, you're a big fan of the municipal building? There's one last view before we lose it. It's really an incredible space, but as with many government buildings, it's much nicer on the outside than the inside. That's where I go for my press stuff. The people are obviously very nice and helpful, but it's just kind of the building could use a little investment. But it's really spectacular on the outside. Rubber Jacks, something very unique to New York City are the fire escapes. Yeah, I mean, New York City is so funny. So every generation, you know, the building code changes. What's considered safe or unsafe changes. And so for a long time they used fire escapes. Now we don't see so much of that because the buildings themselves are meant to be fireproof. And there's, you know, fireproof stairwells and all sorts of other stuff instead. But certain neighborhoods, you know, they don't change over time, or they change very slowly. So you get TriBeCa, SoHo, you know, where you still see those remnants of the past. Here's the AT&T Long Lines building, designed to survive a nuclear attack. thus no windows. So it carries all sorts of infrastructure like telephone equipment and stuff, so that communications could continue in theory. A lot of construction noise today. Or repairs, I guess. But just up ahead is our next destination, the Jenga building and the New York Bean. Next corner. Oh yeah, photos mentioning the Triangle Shirtwaist. Yeah, the building still exists. It's an NYU building. And they do every year, they have a really powerful memorial. They ring bells. It's really powerful. ERs will be dead, but AI will live on. Exactly. So here it is, the New York Bean. There we are. Hello. Supporting here at the corner of the Jenga building. And they keep doing all this work buffing it out. Hello. How is everybody? So it's much smaller than the one in Chicago, and you can't walk underneath it. That's one of the big differences. But it is obviously very recognizable. It's the same artist.
I always forget every Saturday I take the first jackhammer.
Really cool though. Okay, I think I know where I want to go next. We're going to stay in TriBeCa. Photo says Anish Kapoor. Yes, that is the artist. Anish Kapoor, thank you for that. Coming up to a fun little intersection here. Another triangle. Separating West Broadway and Varick Street. West Broadway to our left, and then to our right, West Broadway and Varick splitting apart. We're going to walk over to Varick. Lots of public art. Some more understandable than others. Is there a sign? Yes. Hoodoos. Inspired by their namesake figurative geological formations and cast in hand-tinted resin the color of sea glass, these timeless natural forms appear to glow from within and represent the light that is inside us all. Ooh, interesting. ER says must be a bear to keep clean. Yeah, Dutch goes by the, Dutch Maz goes by the Bean a fair amount, and they are constantly cleaning it. I mean, it's crazy. They must spend so much money keeping it clean. Oh, and this is a fun view. So this is Varick Street, and if you look all the way down, you can see Hudson Yards. That is the Edge, one of the observation decks. That's a really fun one. So here is where I wanted to go next. Who you gonna call? So one of the reasons I wanted to come here is they're filming the next Ghostbusters, and the car has been around here pretty frequently recently. I was like half hoping we might see the Ghostbusters mobile. Let me just go to the next block. I just want to take a peek around just in case it's like parked somewhere around here. But they've been doing a ton of filming over here recently, like in the last 2 weeks. Let's just take a quick look. I'm not super optimistic, but let's just take a quick look just in case. I don't see any filming signs at the moment. Maybe there's a filming sign over there. Do we see anything? Nah. Not today. Okay. That would have been fun, but it's always fun to see the Firehouse. It would be really cool to see the car in person. And if you stick around long enough while they're filming, it was moving, like they were shooting it driving around. That would be really, really, really cool. The old Western Union building to our right. Lots of historic buildings over here. Hey, Sal Muscles, good to see you, pal. Hope all's well. Okay, let's see. Where do we want to go next? I think we'll walk north a little bit. We'll go head into SoHo. Let's cross along with all these people. Got to be a little safe around here. A lot of the intersections are kind of crazy, especially Canal Street. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. Lots of cool streets around here. Older architecture, short little streets. Really good stuff. Oh, here we go. We'll take this and then we'll get on West Broadway. And I think what we'll do, I think we'll stick on West Broadway for a little bit. Haven't been on West Broadway in a while. Take it north. Oh, that's funny. Bud and Beyond. Creative, sort of. Oh, Donna, here's one of the old buildings you've called out before on Canal. Right here at the corner of West Broadway. Look at the, what do they call it, mansard roof? This pink building. I tried looking it up. I didn't find anything specific about the building. But it's just a cool, beautiful old building. There's lots of really amazing architecture all along Canal Street. ER says NYPD has EVs now, yeah. They're always experimenting with different stuff. You know, they have those mini cars. Mostly they have SUVs though, these days. That's just the way it is, I guess. So SoHo, south of Houston. Houston, not Houston, different people. In Texas, it's Sam Houston. It's a different person here, Houston. And SoHo is south of Houston. There's also NoHo, north of Houston. Let's see what the garage costs. Monthly, $718.06. And if you have any type of car, and I'm sure they all qualify as any type of car, it might even be a couple $100s more on top of that. If it's an SUV, if it's an electric car, if it's a luxury car. So you could easily spend $1,000 a month parking your car in there, which is why I recommend walking or public transportation. Look at this thing. $325 West Broadway. So there are a lot of restaurants and stuff down here, but just be aware, very, very pricey. Very pricey in SoHo. If you're more price conscious, I would go to the West Village or Greenwich Village. So once you cross Houston, many more affordable options open up. And in fact, I'll probably have lunch around there at some point after the stream. It's been a long time I haven't been to the one of my favorite spots down here, Cotty Roll. They make Indian sandwiches, so maybe I'll do that for lunch today after the stream on MacDougal Street. Lots of luxury shopping around here as well. SoHo, around Broome, around Spring Street. Kind of from here to Broadway. And if you go past Broadway, a lot of good restaurants. If you really want to see and be seen, Balthazar. Good spot to do that.
Yeah, I know, they just stay inside.
Get yourself some celebrity sightings there. Oh, it feels really nice in the shade. Nice little breeze. Let's see what the temperature's looking like now. 75. There's a Cipriani from Venice, Italy. Ooh, my wife's favorite across the street, La Durée for macaron. Super fancy over here. Check that out. Beautiful. Coming up to Spring Street. If you were to go east along Spring Street, take you over to Little Italy. And some of the best pizza in the United States, Lombardi's. Photos had a celebrity sighting recently. Jason Alexander from Seinfeld. Hey, that's cool. I was just talking to somebody about George Costanza. That's funny. Did you get a picture with him? Or did you play it cool? Lots of galleries over here. This one mentions Salvador Dali. Wow. Incredible. Ooh, That's Keith Haring vibes. Angel Ortiz. Interesting. Ooh, we know this place. Bethesda Arcade in Central Park. Oh, it looks like they have all sorts of New York City art in there. There's the Flatiron Building. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Ah, photo's good. You played it cool. Oh, that's funny. So Oxen Camera says Soho in London gets its name from a hunting call. So totally different. Same name. Different etymology. Coming up on Prince Street, named after Prince Ice in the chat. Probably many people familiar with it from a place called Prince Street Pizza, which would be to the right. A little bit of a walk. We're going to keep going straight, and I got a fun site for you guys that we've mentioned many times, but I don't actually know that I've walked by it on the stream yet. Which is Sadel's. Sadel's is one of our bagel recommendations. So if anybody's familiar with Carbone, Parm, big restaurant group called Major Food Group.
Do you know where we're going?
One of their restaurants is called Sadel's, and it's their version of a Jewish deli. And they make some of the best handmade bagels in New York City. And as you can tell from what we've talked about so far, this is a pricey neighborhood, so it's not cheap. It's a fancy brunch. Maybe you're celebrating something. But highly recommend it. And you can see they got these towers of smoked fish. And then they'll bring out these sticks and just do a tower of bagels. They're so good. So really recommend that. But definitely pretty pricey. Pretty pricey. But well worth it. Well worth it. ER says we should put a portfolio together from our photo walks. Hey, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about it. I definitely want to do something like that. And I said before, we're probably more of our recorded walks are gonna be photo walks. I just really enjoy doing that. So stay tuned. We're definitely thinking about it. We are definitely thinking about that. So here is Houston. Maybe we'll go see, should we go see our Picasso? It's such a beautiful day. Let's go see our Picasso. Houston Street, so everything's south of here, Soho. North of here, NoHo. But we're getting into Greenwich Village, the New York University area. So this is LaGuardia, you have Thompson, Sullivan, McDougal. McDougal Street is one of the great restaurant streets in New York City. Tons and tons and tons of options, and may in fact be where I'm going to pick up some lunch in a little while. Light should be changing. And then to our right, Worcester Street. That's actually where we're going to go in a second. We just have to go around. There may be a way to go from this direction, but I'm just not sure. Well, we'll just go around. We'll just go around. We'll go up to Bleecker. Morgenstern's Finest Ice Cream. Some really incredible ice cream there.
But on Monday.
At night, there can be a line out the door. Very good ice cream at Morgenstern's. But yeah, this is the Greenwich Village area, New York University area. LaGuardia Place, named after Fiorello LaGuardia, one of New York City's most famous mayors. There's a statue of him up ahead, and if you're familiar with Patience and Fortitude at the New York Public Library, He named them after the characteristics he thought, ooh, we can cut through this way. Let's cut through this way. He named patience and fortitude as after the characteristics that New Yorkers needed in order to get through the Great Depression. But let's cut through here. Let's go see our Picasso. And then I think we'll finish up at Washington Square Park because I'm getting hungry and I could go for some lunch. Ooh, it looks like there's a little food festival to our left. Oh, we'll check that out in a second. But first, Picasso. How beautiful is this? So this is a statue called Bust of Sylvette by Picasso. And if you didn't know New York City had a Picasso, there she is, Bust of Sylvette. So just for my own knowledge, it does look like you can cut through now. This used to be blocked for construction for the longest time, so that's good to know. Let's go check out what's going on at this little street fair. And then we'll go stop at Washington Square Park and see what the vibe's like. And then in a little while, we'll end at Washington Square Park. I'm gonna pick up some lunch, and what I'm gonna be doing, and I encourage you to do the same, is tune in to our good friend Dutch Maz for the Mermaid Parade. One-of-a-kind New York City experience, and my guy Dutch, that's how I want to experience it. So let's see this sign. Japan Fest. Oh, that's awesome. So it's a Japanese festival. It smells delicious. I see ramen, onigiri, all sorts of street food. Look at that. All right, well, I'll come back and I'm gonna wander this in a little bit, but I want to go check out the vibe at Washington Square Park. And then that's where we're gonna call it for today. All this stuff is starting to make me a little bit too hungry. Oh wow, look, it goes all the way along Bleecker. That's awesome. This is gigantic. That's so cool. Whole Japanese street fair. I had no idea. I love running into stuff like this. Sal checked out the menu for Sadel's. Yeah, it's not cheap. 20 to 30 bucks. That sounds about right. I mean, I always tell people it's kind of a special occasion kind of thing. I mean, the whole restaurant group, Parm is their most affordable restaurant, I think. Carbone, very much super, super, super expensive. Sadel's kind of, it's pricey, but it's a really fun experience. If you can make it happen once, you'll have a pretty good time. So we're back on LaGuardia Place. We're walking north to Washington Square Park, but I mentioned there's a statue of Fiorello LaGuardia. There it is. That statue's so funny. I mean, he just like looks like a politician, doesn't he? That's a man who knows how to work a room. Hey, Robojack's heading out. Hey, it was good to see you. Point this one out for my beautiful wife, Lisa Trey Giovanni. She used to like this place. Haven't been here in a long time. There used to be, do you guys remember the cookie dough trend I guess the place closed. I think there used to be a cookie dough shop over here, but I guess that trend came and went. It's so funny that it's gone because when it was open, there was a block-long line every day. Just funny. On our right, Bopst, the library for NYU. And straight ahead, which is where we're heading, beautiful Washington Square Park. In a little bit, I'm going to pick up some food, and I think I'm probably going to sit. I mean, I'll go check out that street fair a little bit, but I think I'm going to pick up some food for lunch and sit here in Washington Square Park and just enjoy some hopefully pretty nice summer vibes. This is one of my, after Central Park, this is probably my number 2 favorite park in New York City. Always a good vibe, friendly people, music, everybody just having a good time. ER says my great aunt worked for LaGuardia. That's awesome. Oh, Neville says Action Kid went to last year's Japan Fest. Yeah, I mean, it looks like you could. It was gigantic. I had no idea. So you could spend a good amount of time there, and it smelled. The food smelled incredible. That smelled real good. See, nobody coming.
Seems like it. Should they get married?
By the way, if anybody's in New York City, I heard there's an amazing jazz festival happening at in Harlem. I think Thomas Jefferson Park. I almost went there today, but that would have been more standing than walking, and we needed to walk. Must stretch our legs. But if you're in New York City, maybe look up the Harlem Jazz Festival. That was second choice today. The beautiful fountain here, Washington Square. Live music in every direction. I mean, can you tell why this is one of my favorite places in the city? Just good vibes.
I mean, I've had a lot of fun on
All right, my friends, we're gonna end over here. Oh, there's the guy who stares at the sun. He's a character. He likes to stare at the sun. That's his thing. I mean, I assume he has many other things, but that's what I know him for. My friends, it's been a beautiful day. Started on the Upper East Side, took the New York City ferry, got to visit Lower Manhattan Financial District, TriBeCa, SoHo, Greenwich Village.
At home it permanently.
We even got to see a man stare directly into the sun, ending right here at one of my favorite parks in New York City, Washington Square Park, right by the arch and the fountain, and a beautiful view of One World Trade Center. When lived in Greenwich Village and Greenwich and West 10th Street. I was in the park every day. I mean, this is like I said, after Central Park, this is it. As good as it gets. Big shout out to Clinton. Thank you for the super chat. Everybody who joined today had super fun. Anybody who's celebrating Happy Father's Day tomorrow, I'm very thankful to everybody for their Father's Day wishes. For my first Father's Day, thank you for that. But I had a blast hanging out with you guys. Hope you understand why we haven't been live as frequently as we have in the past. But like I said, the missus and I are working around the clock, literally, on this sleep situation. So hopefully once we get that sorted in the hopefully very near future, we'll have the capacity to do this a little more frequently. And I definitely plan to get a walk-in soon with Lisa as well, and the kiddo. So we'll get the whole family out sometime soon. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we will try to do some stuff periodically. I'll probably do some more stroller cam. We might do some more recorded stroller cams, just because streaming in Central Park has been a little challenging recently. And that's actually pretty fun for me. And I do try to take the kiddo out, so that'll probably be a way to get a few more videos going. So stay tuned for more stroller cam. But from here at the corner of Washington Square North and 5th Avenue, standing beneath the Washington Square Park arch, Elaine, Clinton, Micah back home, walks in camera, ER Trauma, Donna Sedum, Sal Muscles, Bear in the Garden, AC Neville, Robojacks, photos from around New York, and anybody I may have missed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks everybody for hanging on out with us. Always love it. We'll try to get out a little more often as best we can. And I'll see everybody real soon. Thanks for hanging out today. Have a great weekend. Happy Pride Month, Juneteenth, Father's Day, and everything else you may be celebrating. Hey, and Flowing Happy, coming in clutch. $10 super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. 10 times over. Your generosity is appreciated greatly. I'll be seeing everybody sometime real soon. Take care, everybody. Hey, ABX, thank you for that. See you soon, everybody. Take care. Have a good day.